This is the best, most definitive Hunter prismatic build you will ever use. I stand on that. This been the #1 prismatic build Hunters use since freaking Final Shape came out. Okay, like this is the build you will use. Okay, and it got even better. That's the thing. It got even better. I didn't think that was gonna be possible, but it did. It's a hypernova. Finish a move you, because we're not having that one. Yeah, because buddy, I don't know why you think you was pulling up on me in a situation like that and thinking this was gonna be sweet. Just disrespectful. He tried it though. Get him up out of here. You see how easy that was? Like no care in the world. You're never going to be in a situation where you should die with this build or anything like that, because everything always going to be severed. You're going to have a void overshield. You're going to have restoration. You're going to have woven mail. You know, you're going to have 25% damage resist. You're going to have amplified on. And that's a trick right there too. Before Golden Gun goes off your third shot, just hurry you the class ability, and you literally will get a free amplified off with Ascension. What up, guys? Alchemist here. I got something nice for you. So today we finally touching on prismatic builds, and obviously I have to give y'all the best build for prismatic for hunters first before we start getting into the creative ones that are good as well, but you know, takes a little bit more, you know, thinking outside the box, right? So the exotic class item we are using, relativism, is Spirit of Signoragni. Whenever we throw our grenade, we get woven mail for 10 seconds, which is a 45% damage reduction. And then we have Spirit of Emos Light, which make it that we get our abilities back quicker every time we use our abilities. Basically, make the cooldown all abilities quicker. That's how we're able to spam our melee, grenade, and class ability off each other as a gameplay loop non-stop, as y'all seen at the beginning. Okay, the armor stats you want to go for is, because we're spamming our abilities and we're not trying to do a lot of damage with the abilities, you just want to get 100 melee, 100 grenade, and then 100 class stat. Obviously, I'm rocking a font in my class item, and then 100 weapon, just so you do a lot of good damage towards you know, champions and whatnot. Not bosses, but, you know, champions, all of them, get the max damage you want on them, okay? Now, weapons. This is the reason why this build not even perfected yet. The weapon you want to use in this build is Kvastov, okay? Kvastov gives you your class, your transcendence bar super quick from bouncing off enemies with the ricochet bullets and stuff, right? You can literally get your class ability back, your transcendence, I mean, back in like 7 seconds, 5 seconds. Spam your abilities with it too, like throw the spike and stuff. You can get your transcendence bar immediately after you get out of it, like y'all seen I did sometimes in there when there was enough enemies in the room still alive, okay? Now, the reason why this build not perfected yet is because I don't have a catalyst for Kvastov. The catalyst is attrition orbs, would add even more survivability in this build. Attrition orb is very important for prismatic builds, for hunters especially. So getting attrition orb with this weapon, just send it to the moon. Also, an exotic perk is Eyes Up Guardian, which is collecting orbs of power strengthen this weapon's next several ricochet shots, providing more damage and more bounces between targets, meaning more bounces mean more transcendence energy for you to spam it. And then of course you got shoot to loot, so you can shoot orbs, ammo bricks and stuff to reload your weapon and all that type of stuff. So you do have that quality of life there, okay? But even though we don't have attrition orb with Kvastov, we do have attrition orb for our area denial grenade launcher. We are using the velocity baton. It has attrition orbs on it. I'm gonna be honest, you can use any grenade area denial grenade launcher with attrition orbs in this build and it'll work out. I chose velocity baton because it does have under over. It does bonus damage to people that got shields on them. So this just helped me kill tankier enemies and harder in content easier. But you can use what is called the solo and motif, I think it's called, something like that. It does have heal clip and attrition orbs. You could go that route. And then the arc one, if you do Pit of Heresy now, the Psycho Pump does roll with attrition orbs now with Rolling Storm. So if you want to get like bolt charges in the mix when it comes to your build, you definitely can with that as well, which is probably the better option if you want to get some more damage going on in your build. Okay. But your special weapon is, I'm gonna be honest, you don't need it. The way I set this build up, you don't need an aerodynamic grenade launcher. I just like to multitask and do a lot more damage and stuff. You can go with a whatever special weapon you want in this slot. And then your heavy can be whatever you want. I just like using Hessen's Vengeance because I am rocking a lot of orbs of power in this build, and I got explosive light on it, so they just buff the damage up of this rocket launcher. So I use it to deal with unstoppables and do some good damage. But by all means, your heavy can be whatever you want it to be. I just recommend using something that can rely off of, will benefit from orbs of power, because all Kvastov freaking orb power make it do more damage. I was like, hey, I want my heavy to do more damage as well with orbs of power. Okay, just an orb of power build. Okay, and the reason why we're doing an orb of power build is because we are rocking the most broken armor set you could probably use for Prismatic, which is the Vault of Glass armor. It is the feature raid this week. Depending on when I uploaded this, it was the feature raid this week. I highly recommend you to get this armor set. The 2-piece is not really good. It's the 4-piece that you really care about, and that's collective power. It says while you have a subclass buff, dealing sustained damage creates an orb of power. So basically, I'm Pop Ascension, right? I have M-Fight on. Now when I do sustained damage to this robot right here, I can make an orb power. Boom, I just got an orb power. And the thing about it too is the orb of power spawns on your body. So you don't have to run and go pick up the orb of power. It automatically spawns on you, giving you the benefits of you having, you know, orb power on you and whatnot. So this is a very broken armor set for Prismatic because of the fragment facet of purpose, where orb power gives you a benefit based off your subclass super. So just very broken, and this goes a great combo with Kvastov. So I always have the ricochet rounds 24/7, and I always have explosive light stacks for my Hessen's Vengeance. So very broken armor set. Highly recommend you to farm it. If you didn't get a chance to farm it during the featured week of Vault of Glass, don't worry. Just play Vault of Glass on master difficulty, and you still get the armor set. Okay, tier 5 and all. Master Vault of Glass is easy. It's just they just add champions in there. It's nothing different, just champions. So hey, you can deal with champions. The artifact we're using is Hunter's Journal, probably the best artifact for Prismatic builds if you're focusing more on Transcendence. We're using Shield Crush, just making that our grenade and melee do more damage and come back quicker from you having certain buffs on. We will have every buff on here, okay? We will have Wolf Mail. We won't have Frost Armor, but we will have Wolf Mail in this build. We will have Void over Shield. We will have Amplified. We will have Radiant, okay? So you're going to always have grenade and melee coming back quicker and doing more damage. 25% to be exact, okay? We have Solar Fulmination on because we will be doing initiations all day with our Transcendence Grenade for Hunters. So I wanted to make it that the initiations do more damage and are bigger in this build. Now, you can replace that with Transference. Transferring, making that your grenade and melee do more damage while you're in Transcendence. It's only 10%, so really you really don't need it, since Shield Crush will be giving you 25% and stuff more damage. So you really don't need it for that. But if you want the whole weapon final blows, give you Transcendence energy back when your Transcendence in, Kvastov does do good damage outside of -50. You will be killing enemies with Kvastov. So with this on, you will get 50% of your light and dark bar being up after you get kills. You gotta get like 11 kills with it though. But you will get some energy back for light and dark. So you can put this on in easier content like -40, -30, and you will have Transcendence. Like I said, you will have your Transcendence back in a few seconds using Kvastov with this stacked on top of it if you put this in. But as y'all seen, I was getting it back quick without this being on. So up to you, dealer's choice. But I prefer my Ignition doing more damage since I am spamming my Transcendence anyway. We're rocking Target Auto Loader because we are using an auto rifle in this build with Kvastov. Just make it that the weapon reloads on its own while I get kills with it, and the damage of the weapon gets stronger as I kill people with it. It can make the damage go up by 20%. On top of Kvastov already is a lot of perping of orb power, making it do more damage and ricochet off people. So this make Kvastov really is a ad clearing machine. And you do more, you get more progress when you're killing enemies surrounded, which you should be 24/7. This 24/7 with this build that you see I was using it, right? We have on Void Hegemony on. This makes it that we get a Void Overshield if we kill weakened targets. I'll be showing you guys how we get weakened in this build before you get that Void Overshield, which is a 70% damage reduction in this build with a Void Overshield and extra health. We have on Radiant Orbs. Whenever we pick up Orb Power, we get Radiant, which is a 20% extra weapon damage on top of the extra damage we already got for Gavastov. As y'all seen with the Vault of Glass armor, the Radiant Orb will always spawn on me. So I always will pick up that Orb Power, and then that's an infinite loop because the Vault of Glass armor, you need some type of elemental buff on for it to work. And once the Radiant Orb kick in once for you, you literally keep that loop going forever because you're going to be Radiant all day, then you get that Orb Power, you get back Radiant again, and then it's an infinite loop, but you always make an Orb Power for yourself with the Vault of Glass armor on. I got Energy Diffusion Substrate on. This only makes that you take 5% less damage from enemies, but there was nothing else I needed in this last slot. Because I'm not getting stasis kills. And this perk right here, bugged right now, is not giving you Frost Armor. If it was, we would have Frost Armor in this build as well. Because the slow effect from our Transcendence Grenade can easily give us Frost Armor from slowed enemies, frozen enemies, and whatnot, killing them. But this doesn't work right now, so I went with the Energy Diffusion. You could go with Elemental Siphon, but it's not really needed here, okay? But we do have Sustained Fire on. This ability that continuously damaging combatants or healing allies with auto rifle grants you damage resistance. They give you a 25% damage resistance for like 10 seconds. I believe it's like 7-10 seconds. So you shooting Kvastov at mag give you a 25% damage reduction as well. On top of the Woven Mail, you will be getting this build from spamming your grenade, and you getting the Void Overshield in this build. Amplified in this build. Yeah, just very broken. If they end up fixing Creeping Chill with their last patch notes on Tuesday, then this is what we will put on. And then we'll have a way to put Frost Armor in this build as well for every damage resist known to man in this build, okay? We're rocking Golden Gun in this build because, like I said, I like being able to take out tanky enemies with this. And use it on bosses and whatnot, make orbs for my team as well so they can spam their supers. This also give us restoration with Fast of the Purpose, and because of the Vault of Glass armor, we always have an Orb Power on us 24/7, so it's always proccing restoration. So with all that damage resist on us, and then a way to keep getting health nonstop, you are like literally unkillable with this build. You're unkillable as long as you keep using the build like you're supposed to. You're unkillable. Okay, we're rocking Marksman Die, so we don't have to worry about reloading any of our weapons. So I can always shoot Velocity Baton and shoot Kvastov stuff without ever having to worry about having to reload the weapon. Okay, and to pick up ammo around us as well, so we don't have to worry about that as well. We don't need Acrobat Dodge because we get in Radiant from Radiant Orbs from the artifact, and then you could go Gambler's Dodge if you want to spam your Threaded Spike more often. But as long as you're casting your Threaded Spike, you should have good uptime on your Threaded Spike to begin with, on top of the Emerald's Light. So I don't think it's necessary. We have on Threaded Spike because Threaded Spike gives us the most darkness, Transcendence energy. If that Creeping Chill was working in an artifact, then I would have said go Withering Blade, because then you get Frost Armor in this build. But because it doesn't work, we're going to stick with the, old reliable Threaded Spike, giving us our max freaking darkness energy immediately from bouncing off multiple enemies, but also too, the sever enemies, making them do 40% less damage, making you even more unkillable in this build. Again, you spam that in the room while you have Woven Mail and stuff on, you're unkillable. We have on Grapple grenade, so we can grapple melee people, put Unraveling into enemies, which helps with the darkness charge even more in this build. Again, if Creeping Chill working, you could replace that with Dustfield Grenade, but this does give you 2 stacks of Emerald's Light from you using the grapple, and if you melee somebody, that's 2 stacks of Emerald's Light. Same thing with Threaded Spike. If it bounces off multiple enemies, that's multiple stacks of Emerald's Light as it keeps bouncing off enemies. So, yeah. Stylish Executioner. Anytime we kill somebody that got elements to debuff on them, like Unraveling or Sever or Jolt or something like that, or Weakening, we'll go invisible. Whenever we're invisible, Stylish Executioner, if our Threaded Spike is still bouncing off enemies while we're invisible, or we throw Threaded Spike while we're invisible, the first person that get hit will get weakened. But if we're invisible Stylish Executioner while Threaded Spike is out there, every enemy getting hit by 30 strike that moment is getting weakened. And then if we kill them, that's how we get the void overshield from the artifact. So that's how you get the void overshield in this build. And then we got Ascension on to jolt people and get amplified, so enemies miss their shots while we're amplified. And it's a 15% damage reduction. We have on Faster Protection. This gives us another 15% damage reduction while we're near people, but then we in Transcendence, that goes up to 30%. We have on Faster to Ruin to make my Solar Ignitions do even bigger radius, and Shatter do more damage from my Transcendence Grenade, because literally that's what all our Transcendence Grenade is. And to get a plus 10 weapon stat, which you would take that any day of the week. Faster to Purchase, like I told you guys, we'll be getting Restoration all day. If you go Tether, you will have a Void Overshield 24/7 in this build, meaning you will always have a 70% damage reduction in this build if you decide to go with Tether. That's why it's dealer's choice. Both are good options. Truly, pick which one you prefer, okay? I don't recommend Stasis Super, even though you're getting Frost Armor. I don't recommend it because then your super's kind of mid. But if you just want to be someone that can say you got every damage reduction known to man in this build, if you do go a Stasis Super, you will have Frost Armor, you will have Woven Mail, you will have Overshield, you will be amplified, you will have every damage reduction in this build on top of the damage reduction from the auto rifle, sustained fire from the artifact with 25%. So you can go Stasis if you want to just be like, hey, I got damage reduction of everything. You will have Frost Armor up 24/7 for that 32% damage reduction, because it's not times 7 Frost Armor, it'll be times 5. And then we got Faster Hope on while we got Elemental Buff on. Our class ability to come back quicker, so we can always have Amplified on 24/7. Armor mods, I'm rocking 2 super fonts because I have nothing else I care for in my helmet. So this helping that my super come back a little bit quicker, even plus 40 super stat. I have on Dynamo, so when I use my Ascension near enemies, we get super energy back. So I can get my super back quick with the other stuff. We have on Impact Induction, so when I call melee damage, I get Grenade cooldown, and then I got the melee and grenade damage give me class ability energy, so I can spam my Ascension non-stop for Amplified 24/7. We got our damage reduction resist mods in our chest piece, 15% less damage to those enemies, energies, I should say. We got Orbs of Restoration on, because we always make an Orb Power from the Vaulted Glass Armor. So every time I pick an Orb Power, I get energy for my least charged ability. Just hoping that I can spam my abilities right now, because right now, I don't know if this is intentional, but Emerald Light is bugged right now. It's giving us less energy regeneration than it used to do before this final update. I don't know if that was a shadow nerf or what that was about. Oh no, it's because Bungie did that flat energy return from all abilities because they didn't want to spend my ability so much. And sadly, Emerald Light got hit with that. So yeah, Emerald Light not giving us our ability regen as fast as it used to. RIP. So you gotta do mods and stuff to, compensate for that. So we do have on Orbs of Restoration, so I get Orb Power, I get energy from my least charge ability, and then we got Invigoration on and Innervation on, so that we can get ability energy for our grenade and melee. Lastly, Special Finisher. We always have max armor charge, so we always make ammo for our Velocity Baton or whatever special weapon you decide to use. Powerful Attraction, pick up the orbs around us from the attrition orbs from Velocity Baton, and Kavasta if you're someone that got the Catalyst done. And then I got class final one to have 100 class ability stat in this build. Okay, if you already got 100, you can replace this with like Reaper if you want. Okay, to make even more orbs out there. But that's the full build. This is the definitive perfect prismatic build for hunters. You can't go wrong. You're unkillable, and whatever heavy you choose is your DPS. If you Golden Gun, that's your DPS against bosses and whatnot. Okay, and Kavastop and Transcendent spamming abilities nonstop will take your boss out as well. Okay, you face tank everything. You really can bully anything with this build. You can do -50 content easily with this build. Love you guys. Appreciate you guys always. And until next time, stay up.